today, another episode of the UFL Podcast. We're going 12-0, baby, in Gambler Nation. We're all in, and we're back. Episode 111 of the UFL Podcast starts right now.
1, 2, 3.
Well, welcome back, everybody. It is it's the dynamic duo of Zach Heilman and the rep himself over here. Yeah, you might have noticed there's gonna be a few things going on with the show. Maybe some stuff that we need to sit down and have a little chat with you. We're gonna put you right in the little seat and we have the two parents talking to you for a second about how this thing's evolving. Which one of you wants to do the divorce message?
I'll do that. I always love
am I setting you up for failure? Are you going to be the bad parent?
And it's not even.
It's not really even that. But
it's not even a divorce. I think you teed it. It's actually a union that's even stronger than ever before.
Yes.
BCPC. Now you know how it's going to be an exciting trip, Zachy boy. Is I now have moved the exercise bike from a spot that kind of makes sense to right behind me in the middle of the room where it's absolutely the worst for being on a podcast. And you know what I did? I didn't do anything about it. I said, we have to record today, and I'm just going to have an exercise bike behind me because that's what BCPC is all about. We're the boys. You're the boys. The show is for the boys. It's like I was talking about before the show, Zachy boy. It's not that we're not going to talk about UFL, right? But how many times can we review UFL or even rank UFL jerseys and rank new teams and new locations? We've been doing it for 4 years. We have ATU on the channel. We have UFL Tonight now on the channel with James Baker. How many UFL shows do you guys need? But we got all sorts of good things to talk about because the Boys Club is not something new. This is something, Zach, I've been talking about for a long time, and I think people here are going to like it because I know that the family that we built in spring football likes other things than spring football. For instance, This gives us an opportunity to talk about arena football. It also gives us an opportunity to talk about just things that we're doing outside in the real world that we won't be pigeonholed in the UFL podcast because I love the UFL podcast, but showing up every week knowing I can only talk about the UFL podcast, it's kind of a bummer. And I want to talk about, I got a cruise coming up. I got a 3D printer. You showed online your Atari system.
Oh, and I'll pull that up today when we get to that point. And I think just to follow up on what you're saying, look, we have had a great time doing this show and we didn't want to stop, but it's been kind of weird for us because, like, look, schedules for us have changed as we've gotten older, we've gotten busier, and just different appeals and taste to things. You know, some of you have noticed that, like, for example, I've been less attached to the UFL as ever online. I'm more getting into racing and arena football, you know, and part of that's just circumstances. And, you know, I think also that, you know, PFN's evolved to where we now have people that, you know, they can carry on a show like Around the UFL that's doing a really great job and some awesome numbers right now, and can make it its own thing to where we can go, all right, let's focus in back on what we've been doing and kind of what we've talked about for a little bit doing, which is like, we love football, but, you know, more you and I become friends over this whole thing. It's like, there's a lot more we like and enjoy than just football that we really get nerdy into. And I think this is a great time to do that, where, like, we can kind of experiment with this a little bit and kind of do that and see if you guys want to come along for the ride a little bit. So we're learning and doing this as we go right now with this next episode, where this is now the BCPC era for this show. You know, UFL Convo isn't dead on here, but just realize that we want to talk about a lot more stuff. Just keep that in mind. The like extracurricular end of show stuff that you're used to from past episodes, that's going to be a lot more integrated. I think a lot more of our show conversation moving forward with some football definitely in the mix, because we're still football fans. We're not going to stop talking about football.
And it gives me an opportunity to remind everybody who the number one team in the NBA is right now, and that's the Detroit Pistons. Dude. You know the Pistons won again, baby.
Please, the Pistons won again. The Pistons won again.
The absolute jealousy I have right now as a Bulls fan, waiting for my time so we can stop being a mediocrity. Please fire Billy Donovan. I need this man. I need this man booted from Chi-Town ASAP because it's been just treading water for so many years now. They have never recovered from thibs, but that's just part of it. Like there's a lot of stuff him and we've just like said through like doing this so long now and just becoming good buddies like we are. There's a lot of shit we want to talk about. I put that out there, but I'm serious. That's what I mean with that. There's a lot of stuff that we've been wanting to chat that we just haven't had a chance to do that. So
and Zach, you know the beauty of this is for so many years, like we did to a certain degree watch what we said, right? You know, because there was a potential for us working either directly with the league or doing. That's for the other guys now. We got our own thing going on. One of the things I mentioned when you and I were talking that I'll bring up here too is it's kind of like Barstool Sports. You know, Barstool Sports started purely on college football. But if you look at Barstool Sports now, they got golf shows, they got gambling shows, they got lifestyle shows, they got shows up the wazoo. This is PFN, baby. It doesn't need to just be pigeonholed into this one thing. And I think you guys are going to enjoy it. I truly do because I'm in the Discord. I know what people are into, and I think we're into some similar things as well. So anyway, we'll kick it off. What's new with you, Zachy boy?
You know, just honestly, just kind of all over the place, but mostly, look, getting back in as I've hinted. I'm back into like retro game collecting like crazy. Ever since January, I have a buddy out here that. He is the same mindset I am with like retro gaming. And so we just go all over the place and like, we'll do like this retro game store day. Arizona has, and I know this off the top of my head, there's 26 retro gaming stores in the Valley. So we basically go and spend from morning till the end of close shopping all of them to see if we can find all these goodies. And I'll tell you, there's some great stores out here. And a few of these systems I got right here, and I'll just pull this up right now. This thing I found online, but as you saw earlier, my Atari 400, this is a 1979 computer right here that is an 8-bit computer, badass stuff. Tray opens up, has this nice ping sound to it. Look at that bad boy.
That to me is, I love old electronics because they have a feel. There's a mechanical element to these things. It isn't just a CD tray going in and out. As much as I love the Xbox, which we'll talk about that in a minute too, because Xbox is dead, baby. And I'm so sad to be around for that.
I can't believe how that's turned out too, by the way. And it's funny because like, they had their shot. They're the modern day Sega. You know, like I love Atari stuff, but Atari, they had it and honestly just didn't know what to do. I got other stuff too, a little light gun action going on, you know.
Well, pull up that console here real quick, because another thing that I love on these old systems, I think the Sega Master System before the Mega Drive, and this one, the buttons. There's like a certain, I don't know if it's like that soft plastic computer button that just doesn't exist anymore.
You'll love this. So I mean, technically it's a computer, but it is basically console computer. But if you see this texture on these keys, they're not real keys. This is a membrane keyboard. It is like basically light pressure taps to get it to work. And I've tested this on my monitor. I'm currently setting up like almost like a retro computer / workstation area because I'm trying to get into really fixing and modding consoles. And it works. It feels weird, but it does work. You don't have to put much pressure on it, and it types really nice and all that. It's cool. But like the games on it are great is the thing. And I actually have like an older one or newer one called the XEGS. That's a rare model. Has a computer keyboard in it, and it was supposed to rival the NES and all that. But like that's all I've been. I call it Atari madness. Like I have now. Once I get these next batch of games in, by the way. I will have almost, I think, made, how do I put this? My library was at about 38 games when I moved out to Arizona and got my collection back. It's going to be almost at 150, 2,600 games by the end of this week, including the fact that I've added on the two computers. I mean, the XCGS is technically a computer. I've added those two computers, and I got a complete in box 5200 that I basically TLC'd the living hell out of getting that thing to run properly.
Yeah. That's the fun of it, though, Zach. I'll tell you, because I've been out doing thrift stores and estate sales, and I've been coming. I should have had it in here with me. I got that damn television in a box where it's in for the age. That box is in pretty damn immaculate condition, and I love that it has the KB Toys
that is
price
awesome.
sticker on it.
I was so giddy when you sent me that. I mean, I love that. I mean, dude. I mean, the estate sale stuff. I need to get in on that because there is stuff out here that people do give it away. I've been using there's a few apps like OfferUp and all them that are local, and one of them I'm sitting on. This is collector brain here. Again, Atari stuff. Great story. In 1982, they had a series of games. You might know this called the Sword Quest games.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Go
okay.
on.
So this is a great story for people that don't know. The setup was for Atari. This is before they had a crash and before they were financially strafe. They were going to have a contest where every single game, if you had the high score by a certain date and sent it into Atari, you would get a golden, almost artifact, made of pure gold, diamonds, and gems. One of them was like a goblet. One was a necklace. They're supposed to have 4 games. They got 2 of them in, Fire World and Earth World. The third one was called Waterworld, which did release limited, and they did have a prize for it, but they never got the whole contest done for the grand prize because Atari basically crashed in 83 with the rest of the gaming industry and then was sold off in 1984 to Jack Tramiel. And so the games are hard to find, and even the artifacts have disappeared and vanished into the ether as well. But there's a guy in Arizona selling Waterworld, which, for those that are wondering, a 2600 game, the basic ass system of systems, the the little bits on screen you imagine are Pong. It's a $250 game by itself, no box or anything. Some dude's selling this thing for $150 with all 3 somewhere in Arizona, and I am resisting because we have a gaming expo coming up, and I'm going with that friend in 2 weeks because I've been a bad boy spending money on this stuff.
No, Zach, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to tell you, I'm an old man. I'm brittled, broken down, beaten, and battered. If you don't do it, it's going to be gone, and you're going to be regretful. You're going to be so upset that you never even reached out.
That is how this works. But see, I'm convincing myself it's going to stay there. And I'm like, no one's gonna buy Atari. No one buys Atari. They're like, Atari, that old classic retro company or whatever. I'm gambling. I'm telling you right now, $250 for just the one cart, and they're trying to sell the 3 game set by itself. This is where my mind's at right now. I'm serious. This has been a lot of my mind space is how can I add to my collection in the fastest way possible? And then it's oh yeah, I actually have to be somewhat financially responsible with what I'm doing.
I know that's the toughest part about this whole thing because, you see behind me over here, I got the Virtual Boy Switch 2 attachment.
I know.
As you can tell, it's still in the box because I'm such a weirdo.
Have you
played it? The second I pull it out of that box, it loses value.
Oh, but you have a Switch 2.
I do have a Switch 2, but you know what else I have? I also have. I should have pulled it out. I have I have a Virtual.
I know you have that too, but that's what I'm saying. Why don't you're going to do the value part of this thing?
I probably not, but I have to get over. I left it there on purpose so we could talk about this. I have this weird mental thing that I'm but if I open that box, it's funny. You might see over here. So I got the Vectrux, but do you see what's below that?
The N gauge.
My N gauge. I got the N gauge finally proudly displayed because, I'll show you some other things that I did because I got a 3D printer, and I've gone 3D printer crazy. I've gone anything I can do with a 3D printer, I'm doing it. And so I'm like, what do they got for the N gauge? You're right. Why don't I have my N gauge proudly displayed on a stand? You're right. 3D printer. go
there.
for it. And it's amazing. I could just send them from my phone. And so I got the P1S from Bamboo, and it lets me print up to 4 colors at once, which is huge because, I mean, I've always wanted a 3D printer, but the main reason I haven't got it is, well, you need to get the enclosure. And if you want to do multicolor, then you got to like stop the print and pull out the color and put it. I'm a lazy old man. I just want it to do it for me. But I finally got it because they were actually pretty. It's the old model. Now the P2S is out. So I got the P1S during like Christmas Black Friday sale. And so it was like normally $750 and they had it down to $500 with the printer and the AMS spool that lets me do up to 4 colors at once. But because of that, I can do things like this, where it's multicolored. This just prints in one go.
Ooh.
And you'll see, I love the 3D print because talking about retro games, this is like almost reinvigorated.
I didn't even notice, by the way, until you pulled that up a second time. That's a freaking Famicom disk system holder.
Yeah. And so,
That's so
I just
cool.
got the singular, but they have what you can make, since it's a 3D print, you can just edit it. So I can make it a 5 holder, whatever. I just printed the one because I just wanted to see how it would come out, and it came out clean. But
That's
I got
awesome.
a bunch of these Famicom discs, so I'm probably going to make a longer one so I could stack them up. But one print, it just start it and pull it out, and it's just like this. Amazing. But then I went like crazy, Zach, because, well, one, I haven't showed you these. I have these holders for every one of my controllers. These blue ones here, I just printed out. So this is the Xbox. Switch 2. I got one for the Switch over there. I've gone mad with the 3D prints. But then I said, okay, why do I just want a plain, it was kind of cool having them all be the same. Just have them all lined up. But then I got to PlayStation. And this one was just too cool to just have the regular blue one. Because now it's like, okay, I got the PlayStation flipping logo, right? Like I said, I've gone mad. This is just scraping the surface of what I've done with my 3D printer. None of it useful. All it depends.
Oh,
Things
well,
are way
I don't
more
know.
organized.
I mean, displaying, I feel like that's a personal use. If you're setting stuff up in here or more,
Now this one's my favorite one here. So Game Boy, right? Nice.
I didn't even realize you
stand.
had that.
And so this is actually, if this Game Boy here, Zach, this is ultra rare, by the way. So if you look at these color, they always have the red logo. I have a black logo. And so this is like some misprint or a glitch. I've only seen like one other one of these online. It's not priced to that, but I know that I've only ever seen one.
And I'm pretty sure I'm going to self-answer myself. That is an original see-through case, right? Like
it is.
Like
yeah. So this isn't like a mod or
because I've seen them.
I have
seen
the
them
original
sold like
box
that.
and everything like that too. And so now the beautiful part of this stand is more than just a stand, Zachy boy. It's also like a little decoration piece. Dude, I love the 3D printer.
That's awesome, dude.
So like even when I'm playing the game, now it's still decoration out on the thing.
It's amazing what you can do with 3D printing, man. Like that I have a buddy of mine, same that he does stuff for our D&D campaigns. He'll make like little trinkets and whatnot to let us have for our characters, and we'll have inspiration tokens and all that stuff for anyone that plays D&D. You might know it. If not, hey, well, maybe we'll have an episode or something to talk about D&D. But
Zach,
yeah,
pause. You know what would be amazing if we did D&D on like a D&D night online. I've never played.
You never played?
Wanted to, but here's the thing: I'm not. You know me, Zach. I'm mental. I'm a loon. I'm cuckoo. I'm crazy.
I mean, sure, that doesn't keep you away from playing. You can definitely.
It does because I'm crazy. I'm cuckoo. So it's very hard for me.
But
I live in Texas. I can't just walk into one of these buildings and be like, "Hello, fellow gamers. Mind if I sit down for a game of D&D?" I don't know. There's this thing in front. I've wanted to do it for years. I think that Warhammer would be great. I saw on Humble Bundle. Speaking of 3D printers, they have a Fallout RPG game, like a D&D style game.
Yeah, they do.
And all of the parts you just 3D print. So they give you the files, and you just 3D print all this. So they have the little car and the little all the. I'm like, oh, that's pretty damn
D&D.
amazing.
I mean, look, we can definitely talk about that. You can do that online easily. And most of the work is really just making the character and then quickly learning the system. But a lot of it, this is why I love it, so much on imagination and how you interpret a situation, which is, I could see you doing very well with this. So, you say crazy, but that's like the type of people I want to play with, is like the crazy ones that don't think outside the box. We actually do have our next, hopefully, campaign coming up on my end. I'm actually running an independent little mini campaign myself outside of this with buddies at work. Same guy that's with the gaming side too. He's one of the guys in it right now, and that's crazy. For anyone that doesn't know, it's called the Tomb of Horrors. It's one of the hardest campaigns in terms of death, but it's been fun. I'm playing basically like a Skeletor, like demi-lich that's haunting them. So
I like that.
yeah,
All right.
like that means the DM. That's like the big bad. I'm basically like, and I will trap you in here forever.
Yes. See, this is what I need in my life, Zach. I mean, there's so many horrible things every day. I go to work. I hate work. Everybody hates work. I mean, who am I kidding? Everybody hates their job. But especially right now, everything's just horrible. There's like layoffs all the time. Everybody's worried about losing their job.
Oh, Jesus, dude.
And so, like, me included, of course. But you know what I do instead? I have podcasts like this, and I also need like D&D in my life because I need the escape. That's what I've always wanted out of. I mean, that's why I love video games, Zach.
Video games are the best escape, personally.
Speaking of games, Zach, I'm going to pivot here a little bit because remember you and I were talking a while ago. We needed to find a game to play with each other. We never really found, like, we talked about it a couple. Have you ever played Civilization?
I want to play Civ. I've never actually played Civ, but I think I'd be into it. I used to play. I used to play the living hell out of Total War Medieval 2.
Okay.
When I was growing up, and I still have a copy of it from Steam. And I think it's kind of like that, but not like that in a way where it's like it's one of those, what is it? RTS. I know it's an RTS. Okay. I just haven't played that style of RTS though. So
yeah.
I
got, cause we haven't talked about it. I got my wisdom teeth pulled out a little under 2 weeks ago. I'm actually surprised I'm talking as well.
Might dive a little more into that later, but
But I use that as an excuse. I was like, well, I'm off of work for 3 days. And I'm a little zonked out on whatever they're giving me here. And so I was like, you know what? I'll sit down and play Civ because Civ 7 came out a year ago. And I usually buy all of the Civilization games when they come out, but that one I didn't. But I think that's just kind of the thing now. You wait a year. 1, you get a discount. 2, the game's usually fixed by then. And Civ 7 especially, there was a big contingency online that just said and still says that it sucks. But you know what? It was on sale. I had like 3 days off. I said, screw it. I'll dive in.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm addicted. I love Civ. I haven't played Civ in a while. I mean, I played Civ 6. Honestly, I didn't play a whole lot of it. Civ 5 was probably the one I played the most of. But I got into Civ 7, and I don't know. It's so hard to put down, Zach. So I got at least the one scientific victory by being the first into space.
Oh, wow. Look at you.
The last one I went for the military victory, and what I learned is that they really do have their AI tuned to where like it's going to adjust based on what you're doing. Because I was going for the military win, everybody just wanted to attack me, Zach. They just knew what I was up to. They're like, why is this guy making so many tanks and like, trebuchets?
All the countries got suspicious a little bit.
Oh yeah, and they just started going. I was like, okay, all right. I need a different strat for the military win because, I mean, I didn't die, I didn't get killed, but I didn't get the win. I'll tell you that much. Maybe if I leaned into one more turn, I could have brute forced my way into just taking everybody over. But at that point, I was like, okay, this is not the way that the game intended me to win. So I'm trying to figure that piece of it out. And of course, I could go online and probably get like.
I'm browsing through it really quick, and this is a game I definitely would get into. Like, Total War, I really love because it's like you have the overmap and all that, but the battles were epic, dude. Because it would load you a whole battle map, and you could like guide these medieval troops and all that, and like do flanking maneuvers and route troops. This is like. Everything evolves to like, ooh, I can get tanks, all this. Now this is spicy. I would say that it's kind of, these things are tuned where it's like you really have to know what you're doing for these RTS games to like really win the system. Because like even with like Total War, they had like they had like a way where it's like, well, you have to do diplomacy. And like every diplomatic action I always got was like every AI be like, ha ha ha, you think I'm taking that deal? It's like, dude, it's a neutral deal on paper. Everything's neutral. It'll be something where it's like, dude, I just want trading rights. Why can't I have trading rights with your country? What's the problem here?
Civilizations like that too, but they have what do they call it? Influence. And so the way I game, again, I'm not great at it, but I'm getting better at my strategy at the game as I go very heavy on science, very heavy on military, but then any kind of perk I can get on influence, I can, because let's say you go to war, you can use your influence points to like weaken the other side. You can do like espionage. You can do all sorts of things like that. It's less on the battlefield. It's very simplistic as far as like, okay, your guy can shoot 2 tiles away, and so you just basically point and click, and it does the thing. But it gets deep. It's super fun. I would love to play online. The problem is I just won't play online with a rando because I know how it's going to go. If I'm winning, they're just going to quit. I just know it. That's how the online game, that's just how it goes nowadays. If you're playing with randos, or they're going to be like talking the entire game, like not to me, but like, you know how people will leave their microphone turned on?
Oh, yes.
And so there's just like, you hear the kitchen going in the background. Or the worst is when they take the absolute time limit for every time. This is why I stopped. This sounds dumb. I used to play Monopoly online. I love Monopoly, but I can't do it because you get a 2 minutes per turn. And people will like, okay, is this guy gone? 1 minute and 50 seconds later, here comes the dice roll. It's like, bro, it took you 2 minutes. It's Monopoly, bro. It's again, civilization kind of makes sense. You need to take your time to think about what your move's going to be. So I just know it's going to be worse.
Oh my God. I will gladly avoid doing that. I don't even play much online anymore anyway. And I bought Battlefield 6 this year, and all the buddies I had playing it that are work buddies, they're like, you know, the classic thing where like you buy a online game and someone goes, yeah, this is totally a thing we're going to be into for like a while. And then like a few weeks later, like people just buy another one. Like, this is the it game now. You need to buy this. It's not that big of a deal.
Arc Raiders.
And it's Arc Raiders.
Yeah.
All my buddies are playing Arc Raiders. And I can spend and buy these games, but like I'm a retro guy first. I'm not as much online anymore. I spent $70 to buy Battlefield 6, and like less than a month in, they're like, yo, you got to get Arc Raiders. I'm like, no. Like, and I really tried looking at it. I'm like, no, this is not my vibe. Like, I just spent this money to buy Battlefield 6 and we're already bailing. No, sorry. I can't, you know.
Do you want to hear the worst story, Zach? Mm-hmm. I bought Arc Raiders. I haven't even played it.
I was going to ask if you actually played it.
I don't know. I have a problem, Zach. This is why I'm the same thing with you. I'm kind of like a retro gamer at heart. Civ kind of passes because they've improved it graphically and they've added some new features and things. But at its heart, it's the same game that I've been playing since I was a teenager, right?
Right.
And so it's just, okay, it's Civilization. But same with Tetris.
But you see, like with Civ though, like look, you're buying to like get new features, and in theory it should be a better version, you know. And Ark's, look, everyone I talk to says Ark's a good game. Although it's just, I'm not as much an online guy anymore. You know, I used to be the kid in high school. I buy all the Call of Duties every year. I get a new Call of Duty every single year to keep up and all that. And as I've gotten older, I'm just like, look, you know, I don't got time to jump on here for this. I'd rather invest my joy in like this old tech, you know, and doing that, or like football or sports that I'm getting into now and all that. So it's just like, you know, if I buy an online game, you know, we better be in it to win it. And like, it kind of was like, this sucks. You know, I like Battlefield 6 is good, but Battlefield and shooter games, like this is how the other thing I've come to, and maybe you the same way as you've gotten older, similar with Civ, they're only good if you're with friends. Like that stuff is only good if you're with people. Yeah.
That's exactly why I haven't played it, because I'm like, okay, Ducky plays, but I think Ducky's already bored of it. Right. And so it's like, okay, what am I going to go play with some randos? That's the absolute worst thing you could do. It's going to make and without like single player, God flipping single player campaign, folks, come on. Like I don't. What is Arc Raiders? $50.
It's,
So okay, they're
it's
not going the
40.
full 70.
It's actually
40.
cheaper than your advertising.
Okay. At least they're not going 70, right? I get it, because there's games $70. You're not getting a single player campaign, and which isn't like, okay. You look at Call of Duty. What is the point of even buying Call of Duty now? Because 6 years from now, you're probably not even going to be able to play it. Like seriously, you literally won't be able to play it unless somebody goes and recreates the online servers for some of these games. Whereas, Zachy boy, you know what's going to happen after you clean out that damn Atari 400 over there? You plug in the game, you turn it on, it works. There's no update needed. There's no patch. Some games needed the patch, don't get me wrong. But that's, luxury of time to figure what those ones out.
But I love physical media. That's the other thing. Because the older stuff is very finite. And I know that led to like, hey, it's either going to flop or it's going to be great right away. But like, look, man, we're even hearing this now. Like, you might have seen this week that there's reports now that Gen Z, and I know we get this like news cycle where it's like Gen Z does this, and it's like, okay, but this one I think is great. Where it's the new trend with the younger generations like Alpha and Gen Z is they're getting back into the physical media side, which interesting. Why is that happening? And games fit into this portfolio along with the DVDs and CDs people are buying. Because you know what? I own this. This is mine. There's no way that I can't own something like that, and I get to, it lasts forever. That's the deal. As long as I upkeep the stuff that's on it, like this Atari over here, I can always play a cart like this, like a Pac-Man. That's just one example, but like, there's some magic to the physical stuff. It adds space, but I own it. It's my thing. This is my thing, my place. I get to use.
I've gone physical media crazy since I've gone to estate sales and thrift stores and stuff.
Oh, that's the best. That's one of the best places. That's why I haven't been keeping up with how much you're doing the estate sales because let me ask you this: you are, I know this, but I'm almost doing this just to get you to talk about it.
Yeah, sure.
You're an eBay seller now, my friend. You are an eBay businessman.
So it's like the best of both worlds, though, because I get to go out to these places and I find all sorts of cool things that I want. And honestly, some of the stuff that I sell is stuff that I want, but at minimum, you know what I get? It's like I'm renting it. And then making a profit on it later. Because I'll get things through, like a game. Play the game. Okay, I played that. I don't need to own this game forever. Sure. Sell it, whatever it is. But at the same time, like, I think we talked about this on the show. I got a Laserdisc player. I've wanted a Laserdisc player forever. And it's one of these things that I've been looking for them, and I just never came across one. I was at an estate sale, and it was just like hidden in the corner. Just by sheer luck, I glanced over, and honestly, I don't even think they knew what it was. So I got it home, didn't work. Well, it worked, except for the tray wouldn't open and close correctly. Like once it played, all it was a little rubber band thing, whatever you want to call it. It cost me $1, ordered it online from eBay. But to your point, Zach, you talked about like fixing up the Atari. Now I'm like, I'm way invested into the Laserdisc because not only did I find one, I had to put in a little bit of work. But you know what? Now that Laserdisc player is probably going to run for another 20 years before it needs any other maintenance because I cleaned off the lens, I put on the new band. And so I've been running in. Every now and then I'll run into some cool Laserdiscs. I got Batman on Laserdisc. I got Get Shorty on Laserdisc. I got, what did I find? It was just like a random Goodwill. I went like hidden in the middle of the records was just a stack of Laserdiscs. I'm like, all right. No, again, there's certain ones that I want on Laserdisc that are going to be hard to find. I could get them on eBay, but I'm selling on eBay. To me, the fun is finding it out of eBay. Same with you, Zach. Isn't it way more fun finding the stuff in the wild? You could always just go on eBay and be like, okay, I want an Atari 400. But finding it out in the wild, you get to walk, it's there in your hand. To a certain degree, you get to look at it and examine it before you get it shipped to you. There's all sorts of benefits to it.
Now the 400, I'll be honest with you, just to tie into this, I did not find that in the wild, but I had a great story with it, though. And I'll be honest with you, if you've ever shopped online, or on Facebook or whatever, that's not like eBay where it's like certified or whatever, it can be sketch. I'll be honest with you, I have been scammed out of a Nintendo Switch several years ago. I lost $200 on a purchase because somebody scammed me, and I am banned from Cash App because of that. Not because of the fact that I was the scammer, Cash App. They scammed me via Cash App. I tried to report them via Cash App. Cash App took that as, oh, you're trying to rip us off. You're getting banned because you're the scammer. I got scammed by this guy, and Cash App basically came in and said, we're protecting this scammer. I'm kneecapping you right now, so I can never use Cash App again. That being said, though, in the wild, like, you can't always be trustworthy of Facebook Marketplace because there's people like that. And that's the one thing. And I got back into looking and trusting a bit with getting this Atari because the guy was out in California. And I was like, man, it was a really good deal. Like, for $100, and just keep in mind, this thing is a complete in box. I have the original box in my closet, too, with some literature as well. Got that. I got, like, a bunch of, like, most of my 400 games I got with that as well. So I was like, for $100, that's a steal if you know the value. Yeah. And so I'm like, look, can you ship it? And, like, basically, it was, like, every step of the way, like, do you want this? Do you want this? Do you want this? And, not every seller's like that. Some were just like, look, if you say shipping, get the hell out of my face. I don't want to talk to you. This guy was like super, like, and this is the thing, like the best of the best seller type of guy. Super every step of the way. You had questions and he would answer if he could and all that. It was awesome. And and it was apparently his childhood, like, computer. So, like, I restored it and got to show him, like, the cleaned up photo and all that of it. It's pretty special. Not gonna lie, like that's the cool side of there's a story to each one of these pieces that I have in my collection as well. And I'm gonna try and pull it up on the screen because this thing to me is like my crown jewel now. It is this. Hang on, I gotta unplug it. But you know it because I brought it up on Twitter because you got jealous of the 400. My XEGS is now like my crown jewel, and people are gonna be like, "What the hell is this thing?" This thing is awesome. Take the Atari 400, add about 8 years of computer upgrades to it, and make it one of the weirdest gaming consoles you'll have ever seen. This is a cartridge slot. It's sideways on the base. These are buttons for the computer, by the way. This looks like kid stuff, but like that's the start button. That's the select button, options, and a reset. Your power button's right here. It's this green one. It's 80s. Everything. It's angular. It's gorgeous.
Atari had the greatest designers for their consoles.
Yeah, no. And the thing is, this has a story itself too. We have a retro gaming chain out here called Fallout Games, and no joke, I had just kind of gotten back into like with the Atari. Like, man, I really want XEGS, but like if you go on eBay, and I want you to look these things up on eBay, this like module I own alone, people are just selling these things like $200. Like, I just want to buy like this, and the whole set. You have to be like, oh yeah, you have to get the computer, you have to get you have to get this, you have to get the keyboard, you have to get the light gun, just to have the complete, along with like cartridges and all that stuff. And that goes for like $350 to $400. In box is $500. And I'm like, there's no way I'm going to find this thing in the wild where I'm going to like find a reasonable deal. It's going to be a later in my life collection piece. And sure enough, I go in there because I love going to retro stores just to see what's in there. And I look in that cabinet, I go, holy shit. I did not think I'd ever find this thing in the wild. Like pristine condition too, with everything except like one manual I have to get and the box, which I don't know how the hell I'm ever going to get a box for it. But that's why I love retro, because like there's the retro stores that know what they're doing. Like in Arizona, I'm gonna be honest with you, since I moved out here, the retro scene on the West Coast is legit way better than the Midwest. It's so
Arizona
much better.
especially. Arizona
There's
just has
so much more variety of stuff. More people had things out here that they've held away, and I think more companies focused on California and all that, so it's out here. But like, there's a lot of special things you can find. I'll tell you right now. Last thing I'll say on the retro store stuff. The same store, and I'm hoping it's still there because I want it. There's a complete in box Commodore 64 sitting on a shelf right now for $150. Again, I'm doing a retro gaming day at a Game Expo coming up in 2 weeks. I can't spend right now because I have my eyes set on possibly wanting a Sega Saturn. But that's awesome. Like, again, out in Indiana, that doesn't come up often. I have found some crazy stuff out here on the West Coast. And like, this XEGS is a holy grail item for me. Like the fact I found it, it's special. You get stories with this stuff. It's physically here. I love this stuff. That's why I love retro gaming like that. it's no other. And you
We
meet
have
some cool
a-
people too on
Oh, for
online
sure.
communities. Absolutely. So
We have a retro game store out here at the mall. Funny enough, like at the full mall.
Oh, really?
Some guys
next
set up
time
a
I'm out
retro game
by
shop.
your way, we definitely need to do a spin around because I love going. That's another thing I've started doing too. And I used to do this, and I'm going to get back to doing this. Is when I go and travel places, at least like be like, okay, I have like a little bit of time. What's the top stores I can go to?
Yeah.
Especially out here, Seattle and Portland are like huge with like retro communities. I'm going to Seattle this year for sure. I'm gonna find some fun things out there. But next time you and I hang out, we got to hit up whatever's out there by your way. So
Well, there's one at the mall, and in their window display, they have a Jaguar that looks. It's not in box, although maybe they have it. I don't know, but it looks like in perfect shape. I've never asked how much it was because I just know. One, it's at the mall. It's gonna be like $400 or $500.
Yeah.
I just know. One day I'll ask. Second thing though. And this is for the next time you come out here. It's up in Dallas. Everything cool's up in Dallas. I don't understand why. Houston's the larger city. Dallas gets all the cool stuff. But nonetheless, they just opened the largest arcade in Texas, in Dallas.
yes.
Push, start, play. And it looks amazing. It has, it has your modern fare where it has, the basketball hoops and the dumb stuff like that. But they have, and this is my favorite thing, just rows and rows of pinball.
Oh,
But they have classic arcade, they got rare games, they got fighting games, all of the things that you would want. But to me, the pinball, because that's like one of those things that, they have arcades. They got, the Chuck E. Cheeses of the world and things like that. And there's even, knockoffs. Pinball's that one that even when there is an arcade, you might get one or two.
pinball's its own subsect of like, I think just it's like video game interest before video games were like big. Like if you look up like the history of video games and like arcades, like pinball used to be it. That used to be the thing until you started seeing like the 70s, like actual game cabinets start coming up and like taking over that interest. Like there's still a big pinball community and honestly some pretty crazy boards, even modern ones now. Like you go to some barcades, which again, saying that today is weird to say that barcades are like a normal thing. But like, there's a big like entertainment scene. Like people are making new pinball machines and all that, and some pretty cool ones out too.
Well, they have those digital ones out now that, like, as far as space, because they fold up. I think that's the big problem. Like, because people collect arcade games, and you kind of can have a couple because they long rather than wide.
A lot of surface area you got to take in your room to even do those.
When I was a kid, my dad bought a pinball machine, and he bought just one of the more ridiculous ones. It was Paul Bunyan. And so I don't know if you know about Paul Bunyan, but Paul Bunyan's supposed to be this big, tall, giant of a person. And so that was kind of the thing of the game. It was extra wide, extra long, and it had 3 rows of the what are they, bumpers, the little paddles that go up. He still has it. We also had, my dad collected all sorts of weird stuff. We had the Superman arcade game, but he collected like, we're talking about prior to like arcade video game cabinets. He had like the shooting gallery games, like from like 60s, 70s,
Oh, dang, okay.
old whack-a-mole games, just all sorts. Anything you can collect that takes up too much space, my dad probably has some of it. So yeah, pinball, that was the thing. Like, growing up with a pinball machine, Zach, was like, that's game changer stuff right there. And so now I'm old and I don't have a pinball machine and there's no pinball machines around me. And I'm sure my parents would love me for me to take that pinball machine out of their house. I don't have any room for that damn thing in my house. I just don't.
That's the deal. Where you put it,
Yeah.
In a real dream scenario, which I'll never get that here. I'd have to move back out Midwest or whatever. And you'll know this. I'd have a basement and make that my whole setup. Which honestly, any of the collectors that I follow or like watch online with like videos on like tips and like tricks or things I want to like collect for, that's all they have is like, yeah, my main house is up. My house is upstairs, but my whole basement, this is me. This is my thing. This is all my stuff. I'm like, God, I want that. That's a future me thing to own, is a basement for my collectibles to be just all displayed and set up, you know?
It's such a shame, Zach, because it's, you know, I'll be the one to say it. Living in the Southwest is the way to go weather-wise. You can't beat it. Like, it would be so hard for me to move back to the Midwest or anywhere with a cold temperature. And the only thing that might get me close is basements. It's such a shame that we can't have, I mean, you can have basements where we're at, Zach, but they're like, it like quadruples the cost of the house.
Oh,
Whereas
sure.
like in Michigan, they don't even count the footage of a basement in the house when you're buying it.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. That's a fun little fact to bring up. A lot of the Midwest is like that, you know. It's just an extra, it's a bonus. You know, often more than times than not, it's people see it as a bonus room, you know, or something like that. Now it's funny, my folks at the end, they did not care for it. Sump pump and all that. You got to keep the water out in Indiana. We had
There's
some issues.
challenges,
But I'll be honest with you, I am pro basement. A lot of it's my collecting stuff, but like, dude, it's extra room. Like you literally can have a entertainment floor to yourself, you know?
Yeah.
That's where I'm like, where it's like, it's bonus. It's bonus square footage. You know,
That's the thing. I really wish you had a chance to come to my Arizona house. Although I just rented it, but the house I lived in before I moved to Arizona was probably, well, actually you never went to my other house in Texas. You've only been to my one house. Is that
I've only
right?
been to one place.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Dude, because I used to live projector lifestyle. The house I live in now, there's nowhere to actually put a projector that makes sense. My house is just, you know, like, even if I put it in front of the fireplace, there's nowhere to hang it because there's a ceiling fan, and behind it on the wall is where the hallway is. If we did it in front of the window, same problem.
Honestly,
I'm looking at getting
the fireplace is probably what KOs it, because like you do have enough wall, but you know that's probably it for you. That'd be the only place I would think of unless you move a dining room table out and just like say forget about that. You know.
So here, long term, this is what I am going to do, Zach. I'm going to buy an ultra short throw that you can put like within 6 inches of the screen. And instead of shooting forward, it shoots up. Right. And so the plan long term, I don't know why I'm talking about this because it ain't happening anytime soon. It's flipping expensive. But they have projector sets that you can get that also have the screen that shoots up from the ground. And so it's all this one encapsulated thing. And so I was thinking, okay, if I put that in front of my window, then it's fine because you don't want the light in the house when you're watching the movie anyway. And if anything, it's working as a real nice shade. So that would be long term. But right now with a traditional projector, there's just no way about it. But I love having the damn projector. I don't know why I started talking about this. That's the beautiful part of BCPC. We could just talk about whatever we want. It's this really conscious string of thought. But anyway,
I actually, man,
basements. Basements would be perfect for a projector.
Is why
that's where it
started.
went.
It led in because I'm telling you, like I said, I'm definitely, you know, I'm a little on me or a little thing here. I'm trying to get more serious into buying a house possibly out here next year. Mm-hmm. And so like, that's one thing I've learned just from talking with people. That's how this also ties in. It's just like Arizona doesn't have basements. It's just not a thing, which ground is part of it and all this stuff. I wanted to get technical, I guess. It's just like, yeah, see, it sucks. Cause like to me, like I said, I used to love that as a kid. We had like, so we had this sprawling basement with a bar, you know, it was like entertainment thing, you know, watch movies and sports, you go downstairs away from the rest. You could separate the entertainment from like the upstairs craziness. And like, so that's, you know, kind of, I miss that, you know, but the houses out here, hopefully falling enough, there are some cool ones, you know. I might have to legally keep a cactus alive. That's a fun little fact. If for those who don't know, if a saguaro cactus is on your property and it is growing, you are legally required to keep it alive. You cannot neglect it. If there are signs of neglect or that you are trying to kill it or take it down, you can be penalized by law for destroying a protected plant species. Which saguaros are no like small plant. These are basically tree-sized cactuses.
Yeah. I had a 10-foot tall one.
Yeah,
at my last place. It was 10 foot tall right in the front, and you're right because there was like something was going bad with it, It was decaying somewhere, and I was getting very worried that, especially because it was a rental, I'm like, oh, they're going to get me on this one. If this damn cactus dies,
Did you not keep your cactus alive?
I mean, it's hard to keep most things alive. Cactus is usually pretty easy, though.
To the cell with you.
Yeah.
Bond is set at $100,000.
Well, it's like you get some of these big storms out in Arizona, and you know, I loved in Tempe because I lived out there when they're really first starting to build it up.
Yeah.
And we had a huge monsoon come through. And, you know, there's not really many natural trees in Arizona. Most trees that are there were put there by somebody, not like just grew out of the ground, you know? And so we had a storm, and it wasn't especially like crazy or anything. But I remember driving down University, like past Mill going towards Phoenix.
Yeah.
And every tree was just pulled out of the ground. They weren't like flung across. They were just tipped over because they were probably planted in the last 2-3 years. Roots aren't, especially in Arizona, roots aren't going very far in Arizona. I mean, you're going to get some hard ground sooner or later. But yeah, same thing with the cactus. You see those big ass saguaros just, oh, well, the storm, this is finally its time. Because those things can live hundreds of years.
Yeah, no,
it's like a tree.
They last a while, which is, it's kind of hilarious to me. Like, oh, these things you have to protect them, but you know, they're already extremely hardy plants anyway. So like, really they're just being like, just don't cut it down. It's like, yeah, got it. Not gonna cut it down. That would be a dumb idea. You could clearly tell I cut a cactus down compared to it falling apart. So
right,
but yeah, fun little fact if you ever want to move out here, or from speaking from two people that you used to or now live in the state with the Valley of the Sun and such. You know, you can't vape in Mexico, Zach. That's a real law?
Apparently,
like nationwide, you can't vape in Mexico.
You can't do it. The only reason I know, so I'm going on a cruise in the beginning of April. I'm missing the first Gamblers home game. I told you guys we'd talk about UFL.
Look. I have an instant solution to this before you go and tell the whole story. You can join a cartel and you can just be like, hey, what rules? What rules are we talking? These are house rules.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm sure there's a way around anything. So no, I was looking through. Somebody set up a Facebook group. This is how I know I'm old now. Somebody set up a Facebook group for that cruise, and so I joined it like a year ago. Naturally, nobody used it until like a couple weeks ago because now it's about a month away from now. And somebody posted on there, hey, for anybody that's getting off at the stop in Mexico, don't bring your vape. And there's a nationwide ban, and it's not like $100, $200 fine, Zach. It's $12,600 American dollars.
What?
12K? You know.
Whoa.
That the port is where they're enforcing that. You know it, because they're not. You think down in Chihuahua, they're like, hey, you can't have a vape.
What?
But flipping at the port, I guarantee you, because that's where people are just going to wander off the boat not knowing about it. Although, ship rather, not boat. Anyway, I assume the cruise line will make some announcement as you're leaving. But I wonder, like, can you vape on the ship? Like if you're in port.
Well, this just, I've been curious. You just had me look this up. Apparently this just started in January. Like they just enacted this like about a month and a half ago. That's real. 12.5K just for getting off the boat and taking a puff. Yeah, and someone sees you. That's wild.
I'm going to do it.
No, you're not. What?
I'm going to do it. You watch it. I'm going to get video proof.
So is this like your new, like, I'm going to smoke at the stadium challenge where I go and...
you know me too well.
I'm going to go find that one person on the dock that's like, this stuff sucks too. I'm with you.
Zach, you know me too well.
If I'm caught, we defend each other.
They didn't give me a warning. They gave me a challenge is all they did. When James Baker said, they're not going to let you bring that in here, I was like, oh, you watch.
Well, whatever.
And I just remember after that lady harassed me so hard and we got on the escalator and I just turned around with my vape in my hand. And I was like, so I'm not getting in, am I? Just instantly abusing it right after being told by the lady. And I gave her such a diversion. I was like, oh no, these are the ones I have, and I hid that one, and then I went in the escalator. Oh, she fell for the oldest trick in the book. Zach. It's like the second oldest trick. The first oldest trick would have been if I look over there, and just ran away. That would have been the first oldest trick. So she fell for the second oldest trick. But yeah, that's going to be me on the cruise. And I don't know. I might do it. Just so I can get video evidence of it. If I do, we'll put it on the channel of me committing. I'll have to look up the laws on that. Can I put video of me committing breaking a law in Mexico if the podcast originates in the United States? I don't know. We'll find out. I guess we'll find out.
You know, I'm not the law breaking. Not that you are, but I'm just
now they might not let me off the ship with the vape. They might actually check me, but if they don't, I'm tempting the fate.
Honestly, would you really go? Would you go contraband route to hide it that much for the video? Be like, yeah, I'm totally gonna. I'll figure this out.
Search me, you'll never find it where I got it hidden. That's all, Sage. Why is he walking so funny?
Are you prepared to go to where no man's gone before?
It's one of those things too, where it's like I got away with it, but at what cost? You know, because I gotta also put it in my mouth. You know.
The pod snapped.
Yeah.
This is not good.
Yeah, I might be changing my mind here. Might be changing my mind. Googling the repercussions of that.
This plan might need some more coordination.
For those who've stuck around for BCPC, hopefully you guys are enjoying what this show has devolved into.
Oh my God. I can't wait for that story. Honestly,
so you do the cruises though. You do cruises.
Oh yeah, no, my family is definitely every few years type of cruise people. There's some folks, and funny enough, I actually met a lot of them through arena football. I don't know how the hell that happened, but that are like cruise is like one of their main vacations. They go like every year to every other year, and like they find the deals and do that stuff. Which like I like a cruise. I do like cruises. Just if you're like having a stressful time, you just want to go to a place where you can just be veg out and just chill. Abso-freaking-lutely. My thing though, and as I've done a few of these, is now it's like I like a cruise, but give me a place where I get on a port where I can go explore the port more than just shop. Because there are cruises where it's like they're literally just malls in the Caribbean. Just go and shop at a mall in the Caribbean, and I'm like, that's fine. Some people do like that. But there one or two as a kid that we stopped and we actually did stuff off the port and like went into like I think Bolivia or something like that and like had a little exploration. And I was like, that's the stuff I like, because like it's like you're getting a trip with a trip. You know, you can relax, but then you're like, okay, we'll do this. And then we get back, we could chill on the boat, and I can smoke a cigar and have some cognac in a glass or something like that. You know,
that's why I want to do either a European cruise, but really I want to do a Japanese cruise. Ooh. I think a cruise along the coast of Japan. I watched a couple of videos. Like, okay, if I'm getting off the ship, because that's my problem with this cruise. Honestly, I'm looking forward to the fact of everybody getting off of the ship so I can go sit in the pool unimpeded.
This is mine now, you know?
Yeah, because I've watched so many videos where I'm like, oh, this thing empties out once it gets to the port. So other than maybe a few, I mean, I'll probably get off at all the ports just to say I did. But I looked at enough reviews of them where I'm like, okay, well, why would I give off the ship and buy a drink and buy lunch and sit in a pool when I can sit on the ship and eat lunch, get a drink for my included price, and sit in the pool that nobody's at because everybody's off? Now, with the private island, I'll probably get off at the private island. Granted, they're cheap. Norwegian, you bastards. You still got to pay for drinks there. But at least they got the beach, and they don't charge for that.
I'm curious if it's the same private island. So my last cruise was actually Norwegian as well, funny enough. So okay. I'm pretty sure I know what the private island you're talking about is.
I'm wondering. Key?
Yes.
Is that the one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm wondering if they finally put the dock in, because when we were there 2 years ago now, I think it was, they had not built that, and you had to ferry over there on a boat. Like
no, they got dinghies. The dock now. They got that now.
Because it was fine, but like you had to wait super long to get on a dinghy to go and like actually explore a beach, like their little like private beach, like water park, vacation island. Yeah.
I wouldn't do that if I had. No. Nah. I just at that point, I'm on vacation, Zach. I'm not in the business of standing in line Or like, because then I think about like, okay, I want to get back on the ship.
Right.
If I got to wait for a damn boat to get back on the ship, it's ruining my vacation experience.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. Let me ask you one other thing though, with that though, as well as this. Are you a seasick type of person? Do you easily get churned?
I have no clue. I've never gone on a cruise before.
Ooh, interesting. So
I'm not a big
Dramamine
boat
in
guy.
case of emergency is in your future. For
Yeah,
sure.
we're planning on getting all the stuff just in case. But we have like, there's a couple cool things about the ship I'm on. We have the racetrack. We're on the boat with the racetrack.
Oh,
We're
you
on the
guys,
Norwegian
you guys
Viva.
have, it's that's one of the newer ones. It's got the go-karts, right? Is that right?
Yeah. So it's the Norwegian Viva. I do want to check out the new one. I think the Aqua has, so they got rid of the racetrack, but they have some other different thing that looked a little bit more interesting. Now, you know what they'll squeeze a nickel out of you. Cause like even to play darts, you got to pay like $5, whatever.
Yeah,
Fine.
sure.
But there's plenty to do on that ship that's included. We got same thing you were talking about looking for deals. We got a deal on it to where like it included the drink package, it included 3 of the specialty dinings. So, and it's so funny. I don't know how I always do this, Zach. Every year I find myself somewhere interesting on Easter. You and me were in Birmingham on Easter one year. You were at my house, I think, for Easter.
Yeah, we
another
also
year.
did that. Yeah.
Every year, it's somehow I'm doing something on Easter. We booked this cruise like over a year ago, and it took me until like 2 weeks ago. I was like, holy crap. It was once I realized that I was missing the first Gamblers home game. And I was like, oh, wait, that game's on Easter. Wait, my cruise is on Easter. And so now I got to wait because I got to get on the ship. We have one of our specialty dinings booked for Easter, but it's like Italian. And you know what? I know the one day they're probably going to have decent food, although the food looks good in the main dining, but I know they're going to probably go a little bit over the top, is on Easter. So I'm going to try to move.
Norwegian, I've told you this for sure before. Norwegian's finer dining, like sit down, like at night type of stuff, like when you go in, like part of your package or whatever. Mm-hmm. It's great. That's what it's like one of the best perks of Norwegian that they get ratings for, and I just from experience too. Really good fine dining. Like they're really good food on Norwegian cruises. You're not going to be disappointed. So
the food, well, all of it looks pretty good, even the stuff that's included. So I'm curious, Zach. So you've done Norwegian before. Did they have on your ships? What do they call it? It's not up. So they have a buffet like any other ship.
Oh, of course.
But then they have a food hall, and it's amazing. Okay. Where like they have little kiosks that have all sorts of different food, but you can sit at any table and it has a little tablet. And you just order on that, and they bring it to your table.
That's new. I did not have that. I was on a bit older of a ship last time. I wasn't on was it the Vista? Is that the newest
Viva.
one? The Viva. No, I was not on the Viva. I forget which one I was on. But that does sound nice. I like that.
I kind of want to check out some of their older ships, though, because it's, Zach, we get stuck talking about UFL all the time. I watch so many travel videos.
You watch a lot of cruise videos, I've noticed, too. Yeah,
a lot.
Just something, a little fun fact. That's one of the things we'll do. We're over. We'll like find just random stuff that's like YouTube interest, and we'll share each other's stuff. And he'll watch like cruise reviews, and we'll just sit there and like watch these guys go around. And people do this for like a living. They'll go cruise hopping and like do this for the companies and all that. That's pretty nuts.
The job of a lifetime, Zach. This is where this is where we need to lead us. I'm going to take film. I filmed all of that stuff in London, and I never put anything out. I have hours of footage.
I almost forgot about that. You have this whole trip of stuff.
Maybe
Hell,
I'll go through it one day.
Yeah, I hope to see that someday. Actually, it's funny you mentioned film. I remember I promised I would get this stupid, not stupid, but frickin' editor's or director's cut of our summer stock trip done, which I am going to start working on that when I get the chance.
Speaking of summer stock, you know what actually came in? I totally forgot about this. This came in last week. Our damn summer stock shirts that I ordered like a month and a half before summer stock. Finally, Lisa was like, "You got a package," and I was like, "I didn't order anything. I just assumed it was something she ordered, like that just had my name." And she's like, "No, I think this is yours." I opened. I was like, "Whoa, no way!"
It took that freaking long to get those things in.
I swear what happens sometimes is they forget that they have orders.
Damn.
Because sometimes I order, like this hat I ordered from the same company. I got it in a week and a half. You're going to tell me embroidering is faster than just slapping a damn logo on a shirt?
Holy crap.
They look nice, though. I have it hidden away. Otherwise,
that's like, we're talking a half year gone by. It's like, oh, yeah, now here's the shirts.
Almost a full year.
Yeah, here's the shirts.
Really? Because I probably ordered them in like May of last year.
Yeah, you're right. It's actually
March now.
It's longer because summer stock would have been back in July. So that's wild.
Yeah,
That's wild.
We got them, so I'll get that out your way soon. They're really nice. They're pretty nice. So if you want to order one, link down below. We put in we made a 3-hour movie last year, Zach. How crazy is that? You know?
I know. And I'm telling you, I've been trying to figure out, this is part of the deal, but getting the itch again, because I still have that freaking camera dongle, and I've been trying to get into using it again and whatnot. And I've redone, as you can see, this is not my usual set. My office now is opened up. So I want at some point, green screen back there, something like that, and figure out what the heck I'm going to do. But, trying to get that itch back, that was fun. Like, just a real quick look back again. That was such a great thing to do that we did that. And I'm really proud of us for even doing not only the trip, but more often the fact that we put together a vid like that I wasn't sure we
Something
could do
different.
Yeah.
And that's why I think this will be fun too, because again, look what we did with just the football stuff.
Yeah.
That was fun. Like, I can't wait to get back out to Arizona, because I think, like, okay, when I was out there last time, what did we do? We went to that Sweet Burger place.
Yes.
We should have filmed that.
Oh, easily.
We went out to, like,
Easily.
the Goodwills, and we're looking at games. We should have filmed that. When you come out here next time, like, there's all sorts of things that we can get into. Like, I showed you the oldest standing log cabin, but we'll get out of the car next time and look at it and get it on film.
That'd be good.
I mean, there's so many cool things actually like to do. Well, I think you should come out. You should try to at least come out for a game, because I do have amazing seats for the UFL this year. President's Club, baby, or as we're calling it, the swing section. All inclusive drinks and food. I mean, that's pretty all in. I mean, all inclusive.
No, that still is in the cards. I'm going to try and get out there for a game minimum. Otherwise, if for some reason I can't do UFL season, I'm committed to trying to see if we can do Texas A&M this year.
Oh, yes.
After you said you've never been to Kyle Field and you're down the street in a way, like, down the street in terms of like you're less than an hour
closer
from
than
Kyle
Houston.
Field. Like, here's this little anecdote, which we've said this before. This was last year's, where it's like, oh yeah, I've never been to an Astros game. It's like, you've never been to an Astros game? They playing? Oh yeah. Dude, let's go for Astros game. Let's go down. So that's how I view it. This is the next evolution of this. Oh, I haven't been to Texas A&M for a college football game yet. You haven't been to Kyle Field, one of the largest stadiums in the country, and like one of the best fan atmospheres for a football game? Let's go to a freaking football game. Let's go to an A&M game. Yeah.
We need to go tailgate, because I live. It's so funny, because I was actually just talking to James about this too. I live so close to Aggie Land. I always forget. And I even looked it up the other day. Yeah, I'm 50 minutes away from College Station, which is like at minimum 30 minutes closer than Houston. On a good day, 30 minutes closer than me getting down to a Gamblers game. Why I haven't, I don't know. But when you come out, we'll definitely do that. We should plan on that. And the weather it'll be similar to where you're at. It's like the fall time is the place to be in the Southwest, man. There's just nothing beats it. In the early spring, we're getting to that really nice time of year.
Mark my words, that will happen. I am actually, I've been more and more thought about it, like on the side. I'm like, no, we can totally do this. I would gladly find time for a weekend to go to College Station and like check off one of those stadiums, because a retirement plan of mine, I don't care what happens with like my life in terms of like who I meet yet or whatnot, but like I am committing to like holy grail like stadiums in football, like that. So like college ones, like going to the Big House already. I haven't gone to the Shoe in Ohio State, even though I would rather go to the Big House. You name it, big place like that. College Station, Happy Valley, like stuff like that. I'm committed to going and seeing those places. Easy.
Have you been to Mile High?
No. But
see, that's on my list, and we got to go. If they're these idiots, these fools in Colorado are talking about building in a stadium, do they not know they have Mile High? Are they out of their mind? Hold on. I'd be remiss to talk about stadiums and not talk about the damn Chicago Bears moving to Indiana. I got to know, because you're from Indiana, but you're a Chicago Bears fan.
I'm from the region. I'm from that area they're trying to settle in.
So is this good news, bad news? Because I can imagine people in Chicago are pretty salty, but you're not from Chicago, so who cares, right?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Okay, I'm gonna lay you on something that you might call sacrilege, and most Chicagoans would. Because it's easier for me to say I'm from Chicago or like that area, I usually start with that, and then I will evolve it to, if someone asks deeper, I'll go, well, I originally grew up in Valpo or near Valpo, and then I'll say like Couts. Couts is really the town. But the region, which is, if you say it to anyone that is actually from like Chicagoland on the Illinois side, they will shun you and like throw you out the door. That is sacrilegious by Chicagoan standards to have a Northwest Indiana kid say that they are from Chicago. And
right.
I've had friends
like someone
clown
from
on
New
me.
Jersey saying they're from New York.
I've had friends clown on me for years about that. But here's the deal, and I know there's a ton of pushback because of that, because it's on the region side and it's Indiana side. And, Hammond is near Gary and Whiting, and these are like steel and mills and oil refineries, which you can see them from Hammond. I mean, I don't think Hammond's terrible, but it's industrial park right down the street. So you're going to build right by an industrial park, but there is tracks and all that. I personally view it as like what we see with like New York or whatever, or other teams that are building outside their cities now, where it's like, hey, this is just how this is with stadium politics. If you want to keep them in Illinois, that's up to you guys to figure that out. But they just haven't, And I know that, and I know this. I know maybe you have a different thought on this, but like I know stadium building is a little bit of a one-sided win usually for these teams, where the teams usually get a lot, and the local municipality's just happy that they're there and is going to eat it with money. But Indiana's looking at it as like, we can have two teams at once, and we can get that Chicago revenue from like big events too, while also having Indianapolis. We got it.
They're like,
and that's exactly what they're doing. They watched the Illinois government, not to get. This is as political as I'm getting. I'm going to stop here because I know too farther down we have entered into a vortex. But they look at that and they're going, oh yeah, dude, they've spent 4 years on this. Oh, dude, let's get this bill going. We can do this. And that's the thing. They already have the bill to start a commission to build in Hammond. So I think it's happening there, to me personally. But what do I know? And I think it's fine. But I'm also a region rat. So, of course, any Chicago's like, of course it's fine. It's the region for you. That's the place you grew up. It's like, yeah, but it's the Bears. Who freaking cares, man? Do you want me to call them the New Jersey Giants and the New Jersey Jets? I will gladly do that if we're going to start this little spiel. Tough luck. This is modern stadium building. Kansas City, Kansas is now where the Kansas City Chiefs are at. And I know that's not the exact same thing, but that's not on the Missouri side like everyone talks about. Like, whatever. Figure it out.
As a sports fan, I hate it. As a person that hates the Bears and their fan base, sorry, Zach, I love it. Eat shit. That's what you get for stealing our offensive coordinator. You lost your flipping team to Indiana.
Oh, my God.
Hey, and you know what? We have good luck with Indiana. To this day, what's the dude from the Pacers? You would probably know. Reggie Miller. Reggie Miller, to this day, holds the biggest grudge against the Pistons. If you ever want to laugh, just go turn on any game that Reggie Miller's commentating with the Pistons are on the court. Mm-hmm. He is so passive-aggressive. He's so mad that Tayshaun Prince, the long arm of the law, came out of nowhere and blocked his ass out of the finals.
Oh,
son.
My God.
Eat that, Reggie Miller. Hope they move the Pacers, too.
I think honestly, if you're Reggie Miller, like you have the Pistons and Bulls you're mad about always. Even the Pistons, I think even more so, because like indirectly you can think about it like some people bring up the malice at the palace, and they view that as if that never happens, Indiana might have actually won the title that year because they were looking that good with Ron Artest in them. And because of that fight alone, taking out like Ron Artest, Jermaine O'Neal, Miller was already aging at that point. Like they feel there's a lot of, if you talk to some Indiana fans from where I'm back out when I was in Indianapolis, would be like, yeah, that was a championship team that got KO'd because of stupidity happening in Detroit or Auburn Hills that night.
Yeah, man.
You know,
Good times. And that's why I love the Pistons now, because they're just being mean. They're like the bad boys again.
dude,
It's so
basketball needs to have some more aggression. I am so tired of these high-scoring All-Star game crap things that they are. That's not what I want. I like aggressive basketball, man. Like, let these guys elbow and play down low. That's what we loved when we grew up. Why the hell can't we see that on screen? Like, that's what I want.
That's why I fell out of love with basketball for so long. Like with when the Warriors were the dream team, it was so boring because all it was run and get the ball out of your hand as fast as possible. Just do the whole game. And because they were winning so much, everybody else was trying to emulate it. So you would just have
small ball.
Like, you guys understand there's 24 seconds on the clock. You can use more than 3 of them. Like, you should use more than
indeed.
You can pass. You can pass more than once too. Your pass doesn't mean the next guy has to shoot right away.
My God.
Like, think these shots out. And the Pistons right now, I think that's why they're doing so well. Which, again, the coaching story, you got to love it, because JB Bickerstaff was like the interim coach, and then turn that team from like the worst team in basketball history to, I mean, looking like they could be a championship contender this year. And I love that we're holding the grudge against the Knicks so much. The Knicks knocked us out of the playoffs when they should have knocked us out real easy last year. We took them to Game 7. They beat us. And every game this year, it's great. Beat them up good.
I mean, I love when Detroit basketball is involved. Like, you know, how you hear like analysts in any sport, when this team's good, basketball is better. It's like, yeah, I kind of feel like that when Detroit's good, basketball's generally better to me. In that case, you know, say even I know you won't maybe agree with this, but I think that it's generally better when the Bulls are too. You know, big brand and a lot of legacy there. It's just you know, Jerry Reinsdorf's incompetent and no one wants to fire Billy Donovan. So we're just going to keep on spinning the tires, you know.
Speaking of the Bulls, Zach, did you see that Jordan knocked down 2 missiles? 2 of those Iranian missiles. I mean,
Stop
LeBron
it.
LeBron could never. Goat who?
Stop it.
Jordan up there, 6 championships, 2 missiles blocked. Come on, baby.
That tweet
It's 6,
deserves
right?
That tweet deserves a frame, by the way.
Yeah.
someone needs to frame that. That was cold.
I mean, I love it. You got to turn this into humor somehow. You know what I mean?
We're living in fun times. That's all I got to put with that.
I mean, between AI and impending World War III, I mean,
oh my
at least
God,
somebody can joke about it.
I can't right now with the World War III stuff. We had it off. Stupid. You know my job. If you want it, I've said it a few times off the cuff on here. Because at my job, we just we have to follow the news every day. That is it. Like, that is our job, is to keep the news on air. I'll put it this way. And we have a point where people at work where it's like, all right, over under when's World War III starting? It's like, ew, that's fun, but morbid, but fun. Okay, I guess I'll put it in the office pool. Let's see when this all goes. Let's see when this all goes to hell. I
mean, all you need to do is remind them about the Olympic hockey. Like, we're just natural born champions, baby. We're back-to-back World War champions.
You know. My only thought with that is it's awesome, and then also now we're living in a world where like even that's going to get stupidly tainted for stupid reasons. Like a little bit. For me, it's a great story. That's how I'm going to leave. But like,
yeah,
some folks don't want to leave it at that. It's just like, no, come on, man, just leave it alone, dude. They both got gold. Shut up. Just shut up.
Yeah.
Just shut up.
Well, yeah, I know the whole hockey thing. Politics ruins everything, Zach, does it not? Like, remember, getting silver is not a bad thing, but because
shut up. Like, what?
It's just, I don't know. It's so silly. It is funny to watch, though. I do, because I'm a sports fan, and really, it was like college football Twitter all decided to be hockey fans that day.
Yeah,
and that's basically what happened. It was college football Twitter reacting to the Americans winning, and people couldn't hang. The Canadians, they don't know about college football. Realistically, they went into a fight not knowing what they were getting into, because if there's any group online, college football Twitter online, there's some shit talkers.
Oh, dude,
and they're pros. because a lot of these teams aren't very good, but they will go out there and talk their shit.
College football Twitter. I actually, because of how this experience with IU was this year, which I mean, it just it just relit my Hoosier fandom. I did. I'll let you know. I think I told you this. I cried when they won. By the way, I did actually shed tears after they won the national championship. Went to the Rose Bowl this year too, so it was even more special. I watched them beat the piss out of Alabama in real time. It is one of the best feelings I have ever had, is sitting in Pasadena, California, watching the Hoosiers beat the brakes off of a legacy team that I mean, look, I have and we got buddies that are we have a lot of Bama fans from the show and all that are friends of ours. I just look, I'm glad I had my time is all I'm going to say. It is satisfying, and I'm just going to leave it at that. It was satisfying watching Bama get the brakes beat off them in real time by a team that I've seen lose my entire life. Simple as that.
And the cherry on the top, Zach, Ohio
State even more. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Ohio. Got to keep the looks up. Can't do that.
The Ohio State. Idiots. Just like the Aviators this year. I can't wait for the Aviators to just go because that's all they know over in Ohio is the O. You know what I mean?
This is good timing
12,
then.
10 rather.
Anyone who's, I guess, interested in the football side, you want to talk UFL?
Yeah, why not?
Want to chat it? Let's get in on this election. I've been following enough right now. Honestly, what I really want to talk about, I mean, it is training camp right now, so there's that. I didn't. What I want to talk about actually is, because it's recent and I kind of wanted to wait for the show to do it, was some of the rules with the changes.
Yeah, okay.
Because they've been, look, I see what the marketing side is hyping up that, we are the ally of the anti-tush push movement. We are on your side, And I love that Dean Blandino. I know he's always been against this, so I could feel it. But it's funny. It's I did a little more research, and just as expected, there is no clear injury evidence that the tush push has ever actually caused severe problems with players. It's more, and I say it this way, it's what I think Dean says, even though I call it lazy officiating. They don't want to officiate it right. It's that simple,
Well, can we also talk about, Zach? And I'm pretty sure about this. I don't think we've ever seen the tush push in the UFL, USFL, or XFL.
This is the funniest part of this whole thing is we banned the tush push. Yeah, you mean the thing that has never been run, and you are totally putting this law in to just get in on a conversation?
It's like banning sellout attendances in the UFL. It's a problem you don't have to fucking worry about.
All sellouts has to be sellout. No games played unless we sell all the tickets. Yeah, it's that simple. You have to buy the whole stadium.
Tush push, I get it. You know what? It's good marketing, if anything. It's because look, the thing that people are talking about.
It's absolutely a marketing gimmick thing. This is definitely, they've never had it. Same with and I'll be honest with you, there was a great clip. And I know United Football Media shared it with it was Dave Damashek on the Dan Le Batard show. And they were talking football. He was on there, and they brought up alternative football, because Damashek is a huge stan of the old USFL, AFL, and the history of it. He's an old NFL Network guy. Was a former lineman for the Pittsburgh Steelers, so big NFL history buff. And it was interesting because I think this also has brought us some interesting conversations on the 60-yard field goal combo. 4 points for 60-yarders now, which you and I have talked about maybe being a possibility in previous shows, but he flat out did not want any part of it. He called that instant gimmick. Now, is it a gimmick?
I think the NFL will adopt it. I think this is one of them. Funny enough, I like it. I think it's fine, especially because, look at what has been the most successful position going from spring football into the NFL. Mm-hmm. You'd have to say kickers. I mean, you look at the few that have made it through, they're not just on the team. They're solid members of those teams, right? Yes. You look at the Cowboys, you look at the Lions. And so I like this. And quite frankly, like I said, I think this is something that down the future, the NFL could steal from them. I'm not a huge fan of some of the other things, but let's stick with kicking, because the other thing we're seeing return is the return of the extra point kick. That I'm happy about. I'm glad to see kickers get their good or bad. You know what? You shank it, that adds to the game. I'd rather that than a 2-yard play or whatever the hell it is.
Look, that's a tangible stat. If we're talking, and I think this is why people want it back, is because if we're talking about, we hear about this from like all the officials, even more so I think than I have in recent years, where it's this league is about getting people next level or your last stages of like wanting to play. It's like, okay, great. So for kicking, which has been special teams have been the most successful vein to get new players from the UFL up and like be stars, as we've seen, Brandon Aubrey, Jake Bates, Cavante Turbin, those are like our guys we lean on as like the spring football, like powerhouse guys. Like they're the ones that represent the alt leagues really the best right now. And so what's the best way of doing that? That's why people were pushing back on last year, where it's like, the XFL like rules of like going for it is cool, is kind of cool and all, and adds tension. But if we're really about development, shouldn't we do the XPs? Because that's a legitimate stat. And these guys do, like, it's not just like a chip shot anymore. You have to kick like 30 yards out for these things now, like for years. So like, that's where I'm like, yeah, makes logical sense. What ties into that though, and I know that someone's going to argue differently because I've had this argument in the past. I'm very upset that they took the 2 feet rule and turned it into 1 again. That pissed me off. Like that is a very much and you read it in the rules there too. If someone puts in a rule, it's about making the game more exciting. That takes away the purpose. The 2 foot rule, the reason they established it and stuck with it, you can call merger if you want. Personally, to me, it was because it's more tangible to 1-to-1 NFL.
You're more likely to get signed if you can get a
and you know where I'm going with this. Someone in the background's like, but the CFL does 1 foot. Dude, they're not going to the CFL. The UFL is not a stepping stone to the CFL. It's a stepping stone to the NFL. So why the hell are we doing 1 foot? You're not going to the Canadian Football League. You're out of college. This is pro-American football. This should be 2 feet. That's why people fought for this so much and were so pro about it when the merger happened, was because 2 feet is to show off your skills, that you can balance, you can maintain and control catches out of bounds. There's some incredible catches we've seen in the last 2 years under the UFL. And I was really... even more, the tush push was a total marketing gimmick. The 1 foot rule is just complete, like, well, now it's just about entertainment. We're just trying to get to, we just need anything. It's like, yeah, but if it's development, stick with 2 feet. Like, I don't know. And I can already hear some folks like, you're just putting salt, you're just being salty, you just been kind of this way. It's like, no. This is literally a development thing. That is how I view it. Like, You can throw water on me all you want about that, but like, why? We're not getting these guys sent to the CFL. This is NFL. I think NFL scouts, and I still stand by this. I guarantee you, NFL scouts value 2 feet inbounds more than the 1 foot catches.
Because
Easily.
1 foot gets them nothing in the NFL.
It shows body control better. It's body control. That's the thing. Yeah. That's what you have to do in the NFL to get to the top level. You got to follow those rules and do it correctly. I don't get that. I personally think that was a stupid change, and it probably hasn't been talked enough about because the oxygen in the room has been so much about this freaking 60-yard field goal points and the freaking tush push stuff, because the tush push is so freaking volatile as a football discussion point. Like, we aren't talking enough about the 2 feet rule. Like, what the hell, guys? Like, that should not have been changed. That's bullshit. I'm going to say it like that. It is bullshit.
I would put money on this, Zach. The main reason for that change was only so the league could give every other team a chance at beating the Gamblers, because they know that if you had 2 feet in bounds, you're not beating the Gamblers.
It was always to try and knock down that 12-0.
Yeah, and they're not going to get it. It doesn't matter. You can change all the rules you want,
but
we're getting it.
What the hell am I was going to say? Oh no, I'll have this joke. You keep going. I have the joke. Oh, there it is. As Crowded House used to say, don't let them win. Don't dream it's over. We're going to get the 2 feet back. We're gonna get the 2 feet back if we just fight. If we fight like hell, we're going to get the 2 feet back.
You know what I'm looking at here, though? So there's a couple things that are also interesting about this. So overtime, they're going from 5 to 3 attempts. Okay,
Yeah,
fine. They're trying
I think
to
that's
save
for
some
speed,
time.
personally. I
Yeah.
bet the networks asked for that just in case.
Now, what I do like about this, though, so, okay, we talked about the 1-point conversion, so that's traditional, 33-yard line, blame Bob's your uncle. 2-point conversion, you would think maybe at a 5. No, they're putting it at the 2. Mm-hmm. So, funny enough, I think we're going to see a lot of teams going for 2. Just based on that, because I mean, if you're at the 2-yard line for 2 points, okay,
So
all right.
so remember this too, because in the USFL, that was the big combo. Was the one extra point is often seen as the safer option, like even analytics wise. So I'm wondering if they were trying to, and just so I can hear it,
Get
it's
a good
2
middle.
It's 2 points from the 2, right?
2 from the 2, whereas USFL was 2 from the 5. And so there was a good gamble there because, okay, from 5 yard, but from 2 yard, it's pretty close to 50-50, right? So
Yeah.
I think that is done that way to where you do get a good mix of kicking. Because let's say you're up. There's no reason to muck around with that 2 unless you really need that extra point
And I think what they did, so I was curious as soon as I said this again, I was like, wait a minute, is that the NFL's line yards? And it is. So, I think what they're trying to do is like, look, we'll do the NFL standard with the points. So like it's a little more balanced on the risk because the 2-yard line, 3 yards is a difference. Like that is from the short distance and how much less you have to throw in that space, and even more where it's constrained to like defenses are packed in for the run. So like the 5-yard line will be hard. I get why people didn't do it there. The 2-yard line, the traditional one right now that the NFL's had since 1994, as it says, that's a little bit more fair in terms of balance if you want to take that risk. And I think that's what they're trying to do is like, look, analytics-based football now these days, you're seeing a lot more 2-point conversions going for, a lot more 4th downs. Like, take that gamble. We'll give you the easier chance to give you that gamble, and the 3-pointer will leave and still leave that as almost your Hail Mary option, which I forget. They say that was at
they moved that. So that's at the 8-yard
Okay,
now.
I thought so. So that's at the 8-yard line now, which is
it
a
used
little
to be
more,
at either
is a
10
lot
and
more
15.
reasonable now. Like that's not that's not like 10 yards out. 2 yards difference is definitely better, and you get some more space to throw still. So I'm curious. Like I said, will coaches stay with the XP or will they go back because it's traditional 2-point? Do they try and do that more now? And the 3 is probably still gonna be reserved for like we're desperate and in a comeback scenario we need this. I just don't see people using that unless it's for that because that's all they have used it since the 3-point's been in alternate.
Except for June Jones. June Jones, he was fine with it that first season. He got drunk on the 3-point play in Seattle, and it only worked once, I think, for him.
Yeah,
it was pretty bad. But that was, I think, from the 15, right? Or maybe it was in the 10 in the XFL.
That one was
maybe the USFL was 15.
One was.
Oh no, maybe it was 12. I don't know.
Well, now you got me to double check myself here. Yes, it was from the 10. I thought it was from the 10. So the original setup used to be the 3-tier scrimmage system of the 2-yard line for 1, 5 for 2, 10-yard line would be for 3. So that's evolved over time, of course. But now the new one is now, XP kick, 2 from the 2-yard, 3 from the 8-yard. So it's trying to balance out because look, I think we've had this combo where, and others have on other shows too, I get from that, where it's like the coaches don't want to take the risk unless they feel it's like worth the risk, where it's like, okay, analytics football says that this percentage means that we can go for it and we have a better shot at doing this than said other thing. So better incentive means shorter yards, which means more opportunity to score. So I'm hoping that I think the 2-pointer is going to be more accessible this year than ever, but we'll see how much they do the kicks again. Because I mean, it's pretty high consistency. You're going to get that 1 extra point compared to a 2-pointer from the 2, even by NFL standard and by their data, which historically apparently it's 47% success rate since 1994 when that rule was implemented. So fun fact.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, so about 50-50.
Yeah, about 50-50.
Yeah,
about 50-50.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm just because I'm not missing any other rules, am I?
I mean, there's probably some other stuff hidden in they say something about a new kickoff rules. Kickoff line, kick from the 30-yard line, 10 remaining players from the kickoff team while receiving team's 45-yard line.
How could I not do this?
40.
How could I not do this? I am such a goober. The kickoff one was one thing, but the punt rule. How could I leave the show without talking the punt rule? So this whole thing, man, and I had a question about this. So reiterating, as you and I have read this, so no punting inside the 50-yard line of the opposing team. So once you get past the 50 on the field, you have to go for it on fourth down. And actually inside, yeah. So once you get to 49 plus is what. So if it's on the 50, you don't have to do it. If it's 49 and beyond, yeah, you gotta go for it. Or actually, maybe think about this, Zach. Okay, let me run this scenario. Third down. Mm-hmm.
Third down on the 50. You're probably not running it. You don't want a yard.
So this is the thing,
right?
Though. If the first down marker is beyond it, that's where you have to.
Well, that's what I mean. So if you're on the 50, let's say it's 3rd and 10 and you're on the 50. You're not going to run that ball. Mm-hmm. You're going to throw it and try to get 10 or more.
Right. So
which to me is great, kind of, except for the other team is always going to know your play.
I know. It adds some weird strategy, because the other thing I was curious about too that got answered with this ruling was, are they going to make it where if you break the seal of the 50-yard line, you are committed to that rule? Because the other trick would be, I'm at the 48 or something, I'm just going to delay a game, go back 5 yards and punt. And they wrote the rule by law says that if you break the 50, you are committed to no punt. So yeah, that then implies your situation where it's like, what if it's like 3rd and 8 and you're at the 48? Do I, for the preservation of my field position, do I just say, screw it, I'm just going to punt it? Or do I, because I think what they believe is they're all just going to be aggressive, but thinking coaching wise and thinking say defensive coaches in particular, I'm going to make them drive the freaking field. This is spring football. These guys are still these guys aren't all 100% in unison teams every year. We see this because it's short training camps. So it's oh no, I'll just freaking, and credit, you can't cough and kick. We know that still is a rule, but if you have a good enough punter that can pooch it and get it down inside the 10, and make the guy and make it just die there, I mean, that's your risk. Or you just do a touchback, which is just I don't know. I'm very fascinated to see how this works. If people just stay aggressive, or if some of them get a little skittish. Some teams can live and die by that, though.
Yeah. So. I'll say this too: spring football. I feel like we're going to see a lot of coaches looking at that decision. That 50-yard line is where a lot of those drives die, right? So we'll see probably within the first 2 weeks how coaches are handling that situation.
And it's fascinating because
here's the other thing: there's going to be coaches that do this and not even know that rule exists.
Right.
We know that,
and that rule I think goes in unison almost with the 4-point field goals. Because think about it: if you have a kicker that's a 60-yard kick, and say you did go past that line a little bit, or if you're comfortable kicking from the 50, because or actually no, you have to go past the line still, because it's usually 7 yards to the holder and then about 12 yards end zone plus whatever distance you have to kick. So, usually you do have to get past the 50 in some way to do a 60-yarder. So that is incentive. It's okay, well, you still can go for the kick. It's still risky. 60 yards aren't gimmies. They're getting more common, but at least you don't have to go for it in that vein. And you get basically over half a touchdown, which is something else that came up in the Damashek episode too. Or either that or someone else I was listening to, was, do we see field goals become prevalent more so because, we can't get the touchdowns, but we can at least get the field goals. And so, I'm not saying that happens, but
think about the Stars with Luis Aguilar back in the day. He was knocking them down. I mean, had they had 4-point field goals, the Stars might have won a couple more games.
Dude still drains 6 field goals in a game, for a win. That still is crazy. I still have the highlight saved on my phone from making that. I had a great time making that one. But yeah, I've thought about that one too. Interesting rule set and how they had. And then the only other one on here, coin toss, red zone penalties being reverted back to half the distance to the goal, penalties committed in red zone. So it's NFL rule again. I mean, that's a good strategy one if you want to underlie that. I don't remember what the old red zone penalty format was for that, but yeah, I mean that covers it. I just think, look, fascinating rules because some of it plays into how the UFL is marketing itself. I'm going to be honest with you, which that's just if you're not seeing that, I'm sorry, but like I said, the tush push being a rule is just totally to get people buzzed about that they're not using the tush push. You know, there's no history of either of these leagues merge, but pre or post merger using the tush push. So it's a posturing move just to be like, oh, we're just doing it because it's the button topic right now. They won't admit that, but you know,
yeah.
Other than that, you know, I like the field goal one. I think I do like overall. The no punting inside the 50. We'll see how it plays out. I am more curious about that. And then, get back to 2 feet. That's a load of crap that you're doing 1 foot. I don't care if it's entertainment value. This is development league, and you're a pro football league in America. It's 2 feet. I don't know. That's annoying to me. So yeah.
I agree with you there. The rest of them aren't that bad. The 2 foot thing, the second I saw that, I was like, come on with that. And I know there's a certain crowd of people out there that love it and sign them up. You know what? I'm not. Is it going to make me not watch the game? No. But there's going to be some scenarios where I'm like, you with that stupid 1 foot rule changed the whole game.
I remember, right? And I know some people did love this catch. But I remember a game, St. Louis and Seattle in 2023, and it was Lucky Jackson, and he caught this ball really pretty. It was a crazy move in terms of like he got the foot extended like very last minute to just like toe drag it. But I'm like in my head, and I posted about this too at the time on X. I was like, it's cool and all until you realize that it's like it doesn't actually look. It's not worth a damn in the NFL. Like it's not an NFL worthy catch. You know, which again, if they're leaning heavier more and more into development and getting in the NFL, catches like that do jack to get people into the NFL, in my opinion, you know?
Oh, for sure.
So
if anything, it probably hurts them.
Yeah.
I don't think it's helping anybody out there because let's say you have an all-star season, but like, I don't know, 3 of your big time catches are 1 foot in bounds. Like you said, Zach, the scout isn't not noticing that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
they're
body
writing down
control
all
with
of these
receivers
details.
is a real thing. Like that is a big skill to have, you know, and receivers are already a super competitive skill position anyway. So like any edge you can get that shows that you are a step above, like I feel like that's a thing to show, but I don't know. I know there are folks out there, even in our own PFN group, that would say that I am crying. What is it? Clutching my pearls or some stupid crap like that. I've heard that before. Like, I'm like, yeah, well, you know, maybe we should expect actual pro standard is how I view it. So that's just my 2 cents. But yeah.
Either way, season's coming up soon, less than a month away. That's
got a lot of football
crazy.
coming up. IFL's in a short span. AF1 in April. I want your thoughts on this because you and I have, I think, in terms of team names, Continental Football League all of a sudden just got like 2 teams that I now am very piqued interest in.
COFL?
COFL. It's called, well, I know some people call it the COFL as well. But, for example, the Michigan Arrows, Steve Kaiser's coaching that team now.
Yeah.
And that's coming out. I don't know where they're playing yet, but they are apparently coming in the summer. And then I didn't expect this, but Indianapolis is getting a team as well. And I get Hal Mummy as a coach.
And you know, though,
like, that's
Hal Mummy,
awesome.
He will coach anything. Sign him up. When I saw that name, I'm like, man, he does it for the love of the game.
Yeah.
He will be in any league. Sign him up.
Dude.
No, the COFL, you know what? I'm going to go check out the San Antonio team. I mean, our dude Ace and Josh are kind of running the show over there.
That team looks like it's super well run by the guys that were in this space that are trying to like keep that San Antonio like spring football vibe alive. And I want to shout them out because Brandon Muir, who is like running I think he's the team president now of the team. If I'm right, he's former like the bullpen or whatever. I'm gonna double check his name because I feel bad for saying this if he ever watches this. He had just announced, and this is something I was really wanting with the freaking UFL that I still am waiting to see on this is the focus on local partnership. They apparently just got like a multi-year partnership locally where like it pays 30% of their budget for the season, which I'm like, yeah, that's great. Like,
Yeah.
any of these teams at this level should be looking to get local partners to buy in, you know?
Yeah.
Even, and this is where it goes back with the UFL. I'm like, that's doing it different. Where it's like the UFL, I still have a problem in this vein that they don't focus enough on getting local people, like local business on board. It's still about, well, we're national, we're big, we're out there. It's like, dude, start getting businesses to buy into your stuff more. Like, why are you not doing this on the regular?
Or when they do, they pick the worst businesses, Zach, because I think like St. Louis had like a secondhand sports store. I'm like, I mean, come on, guys. There, you couldn't find like the local grocery store or something. Yeah, like, and I'm doing it justice. There was, I can't remember exactly what there was one brand deal that was especially like, oh, come on, UFL.
I know.
I get you want a local endorsements, but this ain't it. But yeah, I know because I saw
Josh Mayer, I meant to say, is who is the managing partner and team president, but yeah, former guy that was doing the San Antonio stuff for UNI Football Media. Him and Ace, they're doing a great job with Toros right now.
Well, you saw who they got as the head coach, general manager, right? Stan Flippin' Bedwell, which is one of these guys that's how the hell was he not involved in the USFL, the XFL, the UFL? He was out there with the Spring League, player coach, mind you, winning the Mega Bowl.
When the Mega Bowl,
I was there.
Extensive history in Europe. He's actually like considered one of the most successful European quarterbacks from out there. He has a very large track record of winning out in the Europe scene. And he actually is an understudy to the air raid from Hal Mummy. Him and Hal Mummy were a package deal for a while, trying to get the IFA started, which gladly that has fallen apart. And this is kind of rose in its place. It seems to be a lot more on the right track. And so now both of them are in this league. So like, you know, I've been fascinated. And again, like some of the folks that were in the space that were UFL guys, like, we got freaking Jesse and Lauren from the My Huddle podcast, the guys who were doing the Panthers one. They're very much involved in ways with the Michigan Arrows, you know? And I'm like, oh, sweet. Love to get to chat with you guys again and see how this goes. So again, and one of them is Indianapolis. Like the fact that back my hometown has a team, I'm like, I kind of have to go check that out at some point.
Well, they got 3 teams in Texas, Zachy boy, which is already, you know, that's
its own thing to question.
I don't know how all 3 of them are going to win the championship, but it's going to happen somehow.
They still have to announce one more South team, apparently, that they're trying to get to 8. So
put it in my neck of the woods, guys. Come on, put it in. Get me the Houston Swangers.
But you might hear on future episodes me talking more about the Co-FL because, like I said, I'm just
how I should be saying? Is that how I should be saying it? The Co-FL.
I think I'll stick with that because you said COFL.
I don't know the right way. I only see it written. Well, so you know, it's like
you can't say CFL because CFL is the Canadian Football League, and Continental Football League is a bit long.
That's too long for
I'll
me
go
to
Co-FL.
say.
We'll go Co-FL.
I like that. I like that.
So I will definitely be talking more about this because I'm just fascinated. It's more fan run. It's guys we know, and you know, it's summer football, which is interesting in itself. Honestly,
it's going to be brutal in Texas, but I'll be there.
Outdoor summer football in Texas as well.
Yeah.
Whew. Championships in August, by the way. That's still a thing. So that'll be fun. Yeah.
I'll be checking out. Like I said, you guys got community members doing something, building teams, building leagues. Can't be mad at that. Got 3 Texas teams. I'll hold it. I have 3 teams to choose from so far, but I'll wait until that 8th and final team is announced. So maybe on the next episode of BCPC, we'll announce who my Co-FL team is going to be.
No, I have to get the hook up with them or I'll hit up Josh or something, get some see if we can get some swag or some more info. Because I see more of the teams are bringing in and the people, and I'm at least intrigued. Like I said, I at least want to see where this goes because it's definitely trying to be that in between Arena and the UFL CFL side. Yeah. So I'm fascinated. Like, let's see what that level produces. You know,
I'm excited to see what they get broadcasting wise because I'll be honest, I know people give like the AFL or AF1 a hard time, but what was there? The Evergreen? Was that what
they had?
That was perfectly fine.
They had it, but now it's funny. They also had Vice TV, which that is supposedly back, but
Okay.
Evergreen's dead, and we have not heard yet what it is dead. It died. It died at the beginning of the summer, I guess, and so we're waiting to see who the new streaming partner is, because the league apparently has the partner locked up, but they haven't finalized it. They're doing ownership meetings this weekend. They're currently owners are in Albany, New York, and I guess from what I understand and what a few people have mentioned to me is that it should be revealed some point by this week. Apparently, someone said no later than March 3rd, and that's according to Albany's podcast. So
Okay.
we should know. I don't think it's a big company, but it
doesn't need to be, though.
Yeah, no. I think they're going to do the same thing you and I saw last year. It's going to be like the game of the week on Vice, and then like the rest of it's going to go on whatever platform they found, and they'll go from there. So yeah, and then interesting. I don't know how much you've seen of this, but there's a new league called the International Arena League that is starting, and there's a team that's going to be at Mullet Arena down the street from me. I've had a few chats with them and have met with them. Fascinating people, by the way, and fascinating stories I've gotten on how the other leagues have perceived this league coming in ways.
I imagine, yeah.
But they're going to play overseas, like guaranteed. They're going to have 9 overseas games where you'll have teams cross the pond and play, which I'm just like, I still can't wrap my head around that there's a league that's going to attempt to do that. That's in the arena space.
I'll watch it just for to see it happen,
right?
You know?
Yeah. I mean, that's what's wild is like, I still cannot wrap my brain around that there is a attempt to make this happen. And apparently, this is what I've said in the past, and this is why I'm even intrigued. Apparently, all the venues already are paid off for the year.
Okay.
Which I was like,
all right.
okay, that removes a lot of the money issue. There's still some problems, like if I showed you the contract that I got from it, it's fascinating contract is all I can say. But beyond that, I'm going to see where it goes. I'm at least I am intrigued to see where this goes. I will go to a game in my neighborhood.
Yeah, why the hell not?
Yeah.
Are they playing in Tempe?
They are. And here's the other kicker too. And I think it's almost sounds like it is a done deal. And why I'm intrigued, and if you know me, you know how I am, Stefan, with how I am with my arena rules versus indoor rules stuff. They're supposedly playing with nets.
Okay.
Which I was like, hey, you got arena rules? I'm definitely in for arena rules if we're doing nets and like all that other jazz. Sign me up. I will immediately go to your football game if I get to choose arena versus an indoor game easily.
Oh, for sure.
So
for sure. Yeah. Well, good. Hey, you know what? More, like I said, more weird stuff for us to talk about on this goofy little podcast, the Boys Club podcast.
BCPC, baby.
We do it for the boys. You know, even if you're a girl, you're one of the boys. Sign it up, everybody, for the boys. You know, how we do it over here.
As How I Met Your Mother has for rules, a girl can be a bro.
Yeah,
that is for the show. So
yes, I like that. What else we got? That might be it. We've been going for like 2 hours.
Yeah, I think we'll save the fish tank stuff for next episode because there is some things still coming out with it, but like interesting because all I'll say is that the more I've read on the discourse of like the new setup for fish tank, there are a lot of people that have not been happy with season 3 and how 4 ended to where they're like, this needs to be a banger or we're fully out. So
you know what I'll say about this? We'll talk about this in more detail on next week's episode. The fish tank fans are crybabies, and they would cry about it if they liked it or not. And a good chunk of them are schizophrenic, and I know firsthand because they ping me on the internet. That's what happens. I shouldn't even talk too much. They'll figure out who I am and who else I am with the goofy nonsense that these people send me.
Still,
I think half of the thing is these people walk into the trap of not realizing that fish tank is an experiment on the people that go into the show.
Yeah.
But it's also half of the gaslighting that they're doing is also on us, the viewer.
It really is though, you know?
And so I think half of the time that they're angry at these people is because they're being gaslit. And then at the end of it, it never happens or it goes a different way, or they use that anger and put it in the show on purpose to piss people off. I think that's a lot of it.
The only thing I got to bring up.
This season's going to go well, though.
The only thing I got to bring up and I do want to say this, or I do want to talk about this a little bit before we leave the show. And I discovered this yesterday. I'm sad that Sam Hyde's not going to be the host next season.
I think he's going to be. I think that's part of the gaslighting.
So you think this is going to be part of the gaslight appeal? Is he'll just show up out of nowhere? And
no, because Sam Hyde never hosted Fish Tank.
Okay,
Jason Goldstriker
to be fair, you are correct. It's never truly been him. So I get it. I think it will be him. If it's not him, just because we're talking about it, I think it's going to be Luke from season 3. Yeah,
he was the guy that was on not Survivor. He was kicked off of what is that the show that is like Fish Tank that's popular.
Big Brother.
He was on Big Brother and he got kicked off. Mm-hmm. So I think if Sam truly isn't the host, it'll be Luke.
Okay,
but I still think it's going to be Sam.
Yeah, I mean, because that's and you know that's the thing with Fish Tank is a good point is the way MDE operates. They are very, it's mind. How do I can't say this any better. It is mind fuckery to the max how they operate with people. It is in terms of fandom where it's like, yeah, they're wild. Those guys are wild. That's all I can say.
I'm looking forward to it, though. We got 2 weeks until the new season starts.
And I think
I'll be on the cruise for part of it, but I'll be watching.
Yeah, honest. Oh, yeah. Actually, that would be a good question for our next show while we wrap this up. When are you on the cruise? So
April 3rd through. Hold on, let me see. April 3rd through the 10th.
Okay, so
the 11th or something.
We could. So here's my thing, and I think maybe. And we're not going to hold this 100%. With BCPC, that's one thing. This isn't going to be like I don't think it's going to be a strict schedule show that we can tell where it's more about like, hey, let's jump on and chat. It's been a minute type of thing. But we're not going to make it too inconsistent like we have the last several months because I think we now know what we want to do. I would say perfect timing, March 15th. Might as well post first day of Fish Tank.
Ooh,
just have a
like
chat.
That.
I mean, that just seems like logical to me. You know?
Yeah. I'm down with that. And then at minimum, because I'm going to have a streaming package on the ship, I do want to do something while I'm on the ship. Maybe I'll even jump on during the Gamblers because I'll be watching the first home game from the middle of the ocean.
Good point. Yeah.
Here's the thing that I think I already know where like the sports bars are. So I feel like if I get there early, way before the game's like even supposed to start and say, hey, I want the big TV for the UFL game. It's Easter Sunday.
Right.
I feel like I'm not going to have a whole lot of competition when it comes to sports, that I might be able to get that in there. If not, when does March Madness start?
That's coming up.
Well, I guess you won't have to worry about that.
No, that's coming up mid-month because this coming week will start championship week.
How the hell it's so crazy, Zach? I actually just realized it is March right now.
Yes.
I was like, holy crap.
Welcome to March 1st.
So soon. How is March Madness like right around the corner? Dude, we're 2 weeks away from March Madness, bro.
Yes.
Oh, we get to talk about that now on this show.
A lot of stuff coming up. A lot of stuff with that.
Well, we need to do a bracket. We should. Okay,
PFF bracket should be a thing.
Yeah, and we'll put it on the show. Here's what we'll end it with this though, and for anybody that's stuck around this long, sign you up because I don't know, there might be none of you.
And honestly, thanks for wanting to take interest in what we're going to be moving forward with. And if you have any feedback, look, we are going to make this more. This is going to be more of our thing and us talking what we want to talk. But like, hey, comments and feedback's appreciated. Honestly, throwing a like on this as well, and like, subscribing to the channel because again, you want your UFL stuff. Seriously, you should subscribe to that. But if you want to chat with us still and sit down and maybe have a little bit different, that's what we're here for now. We still talk football, we still talk these things, but like we want to hear from you and maybe some things you want to talk about or maybe some stuff that you're with. We know there's some retro video game fans in this space because we've had comments in the past we've brought up our retro takes. Love to hear your thoughts on like your favorite retro system or like Atari or whatever the heck you own or like physical media or whatnot. Let us know. We want to expand out and hear from you too. Because we know it's more than just football. We bond over football, but there's a lot more things we bond over that we've learned that intertwine in football fans' spaces. So please, let us know. We want to hear from you.
Go to the comments down below. Let us know. You can also join the Discord. We're always in. Well, Zach, you left the Discord, didn't you?
I'll come back. I should come back. So
you should, Zach. It's fun in there. But you should also join the Discord for anybody that's watching below. And then, of course, I'll probably still be joining around the UFL at some point. I know people have been like in the chat, where the hell's the ref? Where's the ref? But again, it's kind of like the challenge of once I hear you can't smoke in somewhere, I have to do it. Now that I know everybody's asking where I'm at, there's humor in me not being on the show. But I did have my wisdom. I'm shocked I could talk this well, Zach. I had my wisdom teeth yanked out of my head less than 2 weeks ago, which was the worst thing that's ever happened to me. Missing real food, Zach. I still can't, I can eat. I ate a slice of pizza yesterday. That's about as solid as it gets.
Jesus.
But if I tried to eat a Gardetto, because here's the thing, Zach. I got my wisdom teeth done, but I got new teeth, baby. You remember those things I had on the side of my teeth from I got those fixed.
Are they gone?
I got,
Ooh.
yeah. Look at that.
Oh yeah, look at those choppers. Look at those pearly whites.
I got too much stuff done. I'm not going to tell you the number so people don't think I'm horrible with my teeth.
Oh no.
It was over double digits.
Oh no.
Of shit that I had done.
Oh no.
In addition to the wisdom teeth.
Oh my God.
So that's not counting the wisdom teeth that got yanked out of my head. But I've never had dude, it's been so long since I'm weird with my smile. I think Ducky does it on purpose, or maybe he does. I don't know. But every time I run into Ducky, he'll be like, "Oh, you got something on your tooth." I'm like, "Ducky, you know damn well that ain't something on my tooth, you son of a bitch." But he might not be doing it on purpose, but I swear he is. But no longer do I have to worry about that because I don't have it on my tooth. Yes, Ducky, no shit on my tooth this time, buddy boy. Nonetheless, I'm excited. I'm glad I got it done well ahead of time because I'm assuming by the time I get on a cruise in 4 weeks from now, any of the lingering pain that I have from fillings is going to be gone as well. Mm-hmm. But it's, I'm assuming you have your wisdom teeth out. Most people do at a normal age.
Not.
Oh, okay.
And credit, they haven't messed with me. They're on the top row. I've had dentists try to convince me to do it. Honestly hasn't messed with my alignment, and I clean them pretty regularly. So that being said, though, I unfortunately for the first time last year, took me 30 years, I had to do actual dental work and get fillings, which
oh wow, good for you.
That was defeating because I thought
defeating?
I could keep,
you made it 30 years. Zach.
I thought
That's
I could
crazy.
I thought I could keep going. I neglected my teeth just enough, and the dentist reassured me when he told me that because he could tell I was defeated by that. He's like, look, at some point, almost every adult does run into a dental problem in their life. The fact that you made it, the same thing. The fact you made it 3 decades without even an issue is pretty impressive. So,
you should be proud of that, Zach.
Yeah.
Because, I broke. So the only reason I got my damn wisdom teeth out, I would have never done it. Same thing, Zach. The dentist's like, you should really get those. I don't care if I should really get them out. I don't want teeth yanked out of my head. That sounds like the last thing I want to do. Especially because you're awake during it. And, I mean, I'm not going to get into the dirty details of it. Well, a little bit. I was zonked out of my mind on drugs. And so my wife kept talking to me and I didn't realize my mouth was just filling up with blood. And so I would just talk and it would just it was horrible. It was horrible. But needless to say, what had happened is I cracked my tooth in the top back. And I didn't realize it was a wisdom tooth. I thought it was my molar.
Yeah.
And so when they told me of my wisdom tooth, I was thinking, of all tooth to break, that's probably the best one, right? Because that's it's an extra tooth, a disposable tooth. There's no reason to fill it in. Just yank it out of my head. So that was at least the excuse to get it done. But it's so weird, Zach. Then, so if you ever get it done, you'll realize how weird it is of having space behind your teeth. Is the weirdest sensation to me, Zach, because I went 42 years where my teeth basically went all the way to the back of my mouth.
Yeah.
And now I have this big gap. And so yesterday, we'll end the podcast with this.
Sure.
I was eating pizzas. The first time I've ate anything that solid since I got this done. Most of it's been pudding and soup and ramen, and I couldn't do it anymore. I was like, I need something real.
Okay.
So we got this damn pizza, and I thought I did something very bad. And so I was poking my tongue behind my tooth, and where the gap it felt like all the gums that were pushed in had fallen out. And I was really worried. I was very concerned. I kept like poking my tooth back there. I'm like, yeah, that feels like skin. That's not good. I don't like it.
No.
It's freaking me out. I'm just going to hopefully let it heal and see. But I'm like, I'm not bleeding. So I'm like, okay, it's just loose gums or something. No, I'm just a retard, Zach. So, like, I don't know, like 20 minutes later, I'm vaping, and all of a sudden, the big gunk of food that was actually lodged behind my teeth comes flying to the front of my mouth. And I'm like, oh, that's right. Because, now I got all this. Oh, it's so weird, Zach. But at the same time, I'm like, thank God it was a clunk of food because I didn't want to touch it too much. I was in my head, Zach. I just envisioned it was just a big clump of gums like hanging out of my mouth, and it was freaking me out. So I would like touch it, like it's almost like a little kid touching something and running away. So like that was like I'm like, oh, that feels meaty. I'm leaving it alone, but no, it's just like chewed up dough.
Oh my God.
With a little bit of pepperoni.
Yeah. Ooh. Stop it.
Yeah,
Stop it. Oh my God. Oh my God.
So now I got a new thing to worry about.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
And this is what you can look forward to on new episodes of BCPC, folks.
Jesus. What a way to leave that off.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up. You can call this episode 111 of the show, episode 1 of BCPC. We got it, another day. Good to be back on the mic. And I swear this time you will likely see us more often than we have in the past. I think we're in a spot we know what we want to do now. That's the great thing. And again, it's great because look, we got great guys on PFN that, hey, we let those folks and our friends that are taking the reins and really doing some great things. They're kicking things off in style, doing some awesome stuff on ATU, UFL tonight coming up. Check that out. We still got some talk, but again, you want a little extra? That's what we're here for. It's two buddies talking some stuff we love and talking about things you might love or be interested in too. For a show that's, it's good to catch up. It's good to see you. That's all I could say, my friend. It's always good to see you, bud. And until next time, he's the ref. I'm Zach. This is BCPC. Catch you in a few weeks, bud. Guys, a few weeks. God damn it. A few weeks. I'll see you later. Leave that in the show.
Sign him up.